Welcome to the Poisoner's Cabinet. I'm Sinead.
And I'm Nick.
And this is your weekly podcast exploring the lives of the great poisoners, macabre murders, and captivating crimes from across the centuries, and creating curious cocktails inspired by the tale that we tell. And it's episode 200.
200.
We have made it.
Who'd have bloody thought it?
Well, we didn't, apparently. According to all of our fans, we never thought we'd get to episode 200.
Yes, I know, I read that. Yes, it's like me back in the day going, oh, we'll never hit episode 12, let alone.
So people, just so you know, episode 200 is a special episode. We are going to be looking back at the last 2 years. This is since we've done the last retrospective on the show. We're going to be talking about our highlights, our scariest moments, our funniest moments. We're going to be making some interesting cocktails. And most importantly, we're going to be sharing highlights from you, from our listeners. Lots of people have written in with brilliant takes on the best, the worst, the middling bits, everything that they've enjoyed about the Poisoner's Cabinet for the last couple of years. So buckle in, get a lot of drinks, get a lot of snacks.
Yes.
Because we're going to get into it.
It's already going downhill. We've already drank half a bottle of fizz.
You wouldn't be stopped.
No, not at all.
But how are you, Nick?
I'm fine.
Have you got a hat on?
I've got a hat. Have you got a hat on?
I've got a hat
You got a hat on as well?
Yeah, we got
Everyone's
fancy
got
hats. Nick's wearing his normal lovely hat.
Yes, I've lost my big hat.
Your big top hat is
My big
missing.
hat has gone missing.
Who took it?
I think I know where I've left it.
Cornelius Van
At a
Bigler's
friend's
house?
Very possibly. I think I know where it is. I need to track it down. Or it's still in a box somewhere that I haven't unpacked, which is equally possible.
Quite possibly. You know, after a few drinks, we could just go and hammer down our friend's door.
This is
go,
true.
give us the hat!
Give us the hat, you bitch.
But you've given me a silk hat, a proper...
I've given you a proper top hat.
A proper top hat.
It
And
was
this
in the
is, that you used to bid for on eBay.
Yeah, I
and
know. I
everything.
went through a phase of buying top hats on eBay for no reason because none of them fit me. But it's because I had money and I like top hats.
The Victorians had small heads.
Yes.
And I have a small head.
They were all far too small. So,
And it
yes.
fits me perfectly.
Exactly, and it looks a delight.
Thank you. So we've got our fancy hats. We have a lovely glass of fizz to start us off to celebrate 200 episodes. We had our little toast just between us, off camera,
Off camera.
off air. Sometimes we do stuff off air. It's not all for that.
I'm going to say, we've got some biscuits.
Biscuits.
I'm eating biscuits.
The lovely, lovely Ben has baked for us. Those who are fans of the show know that my husband Ben has baked for us in the past. He's also done a Patreon episode with us. And when he knew episode 200 was coming up, he at first was like, I shall make you a cake of epic proportions. And I went, calm the fuck down. No, what he has made us is some poison biscuits.
They're very nice.
They're very nice.
They're very nice.
He has
They're
used
lemony.
a special cutter. So they are poison bottles, but they're lemon and almond flavour. And boy, done good, because they are really good, really lemony.
So all you're going to hear through this is me drinking and munching biscuits.
I'm going to have a little bite here. So I'm going to keep this in. People who have misophonia, please head away for 5-10 seconds. People who are into this, lean in.
Yeah, crack on.
That's some crunch.
That's good. So I did think. So I knew you were coming. You said you were going to bring some fizz. And we're going to have some biscuits and things like that. And we're celebrating. I feel like it is like a birthday.
It is.
So I thought we need presents.
Oh my god.
So I bought you a present.
Really?
Right.
You want me impressed? Nick!
Well, I bought me a present as well. I got exactly the same.
Oh, thank God. Right, thank God.
But you don't know what
What
this
the
is.
fuck? No, I don't.
So yeah,
And this is so kind, but also you do realise I'm Irish Catholic, that the guilt now that is kicking in going,
I'm
there's
glad.
presents everywhere.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I can get you what is this? All right. This is live, people. I'm putting this.
And it's the only wrapping paper I had, so
Is it a rubber bum bum?
it's rather
Christmas
It's rather
paper.
Christmassy.
Right, this is just a bag. Oh, some stuff fell down. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Nick has created and got us a tote bag with a Poisoner's Cabinet logo on it. It's better than that. There's a notepad, there's a pen, there's a key ring.
There's a key ring.
Key ring with also the greatest review we ever received. 0 stars. Waffle, waffle, waffle. Delivered by fools. Yay! Oh, Nick, this is amazing. Thank you for this. People want this. I've been working on a design for that as well. And I encourage people, artists out there, if you have a design or anything you want to get in touch, to personify waffle, waffle, waffle delivered by fools with poison in it, let us know. Yes, we needed this. The greatest review we've ever received. This is what you get, people.
Exactly.
Oh, thank you so much for my presents. I brought you biscuits and fizz.
Brought me biscuits and fizz.
Now I have to immediately afterwards go out and buy you 6 things because otherwise, no. Thank you. Oh, it's lovely. Thank you very much for our presents. But yeah, any poisonings this week?
No.
No. We've been too focused on this.
Well, exactly. No, we're concentrating.
Yeah.
Been focused, and it's weird because it's a Saturday.
Yes, we normally record
We
this.
normally
in the middle
record
of the
like
week.
midweek, but it's like very odd. So it's like Saturday afternoon. So I have no idea what's going on or who I am or why you're here.
We'll do it together.
Yeah.
But speaking of not knowing where we are, who we are, or what our names are, and also liking waffle delivered by fools, I think it is time for us to thank our delicious Patreon subscribers.
Yes, indeed. So extra special thank yous. Though this week we have Amanda Grimm,
To Green Salads.
to Moss.
And to Jenny.
Hurrah!
You lovely, lovely Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much, you beautiful people. We had fun on Patreon this week.
We had a delightful time.
We had a delightful time. What did we do?
I have no idea.
What did I do?
What was it?
It was my episode, wasn't
It
it?
was. It was the things about the things.
We did medieval murders.
That was it. The map.
With the map of medieval murders. And this is true. It's a real thing, people. University of Cambridge last year produced a map of medieval murders, and I trawled through it and found all the murdery stories, and they are a delight, it turns out. Loads more material there. So we spent a bit of time going through the map.
Absolutely.
And it was
what
fun.
Fun. Well, what crazy tales.
What crazy tales, what shenanigans we had. If you want to know what the hell we're talking about, please do consider joining us on patreon.com/The Poisonous Cabinet. This is where you get an extra episode from The Poisonous Cabinet every single week, as well as extra bonus content. And we do a little bit more with our Patreons behind the scenes. It's a really nice community to talk. And our Patreons also are going to be helping us out on this week's episode in a secretly, specially, very fun way that we're about to reveal. But wait,
Indeed.
wait, be poised, people. But that's what you get for being a Patreon, because
Yep.
you're lovely.
And I mean, as far as episode 200, I do need to say thank you to everyone who has been joined us on Patreon over the years. I just had a look. We have nearly 700 people who have come and gone and joined and rejoined and left us over on Patreon. And thank you to all of you. If you're a current member, if you're an old member, if you're thinking about it, it's marvellous. We couldn't do the show without your support. So thank you very much.
We love you very, very much, Patreons. Everyone who listens to the show as well. We know Patreon isn't an option for some people. You guys listening, sharing, downloading, finding us. We've got people who have been listening right from the start. And we have people who have found us literally in the last couple of weeks. From the different outlets that we have. You have joined us. You've sent us messages. We love you. And we are so, so, so appreciative of you. We can't say that enough. We'll keep saying it.
We'll say it again.
Because we're going to get drunker and drunker, and it's going to get more like... Hey,
Yeah, I'm having more fizz.
Yeah, do it. Get more fizz. But we also have a couple of shout-outs this week.
Ooh.
It is a birthday extravaganza
My God.
this week. Because our darling, darling friend Emma Croxford, who follows us, her best friend Sarah is obsessed with the show, and the 200th episode comes out around her 40th birthday.
Brilliant.
So I don't know if this was Friday or if it's Sunday, but we want to give you a big, big, big happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
I hope it's the highlight of your day, darling Sarah.
It's a bit sad if it is.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not.
Get a cake. That's so much more exciting.
No. And another happy birthday to the beautiful Catherine Legras.
Hello, you.
Our wonderful Patreon subscriber, loyal member of the book club, who we absolutely adore. It's your birthday this weekend. Happy birthday,
Merry
darling.
birthday to you.
Merry
All the
birthday.
fizz.
And also
Have some biscuits.
Have some biscuits. Make many a biscuit. Also to the people who are having poisoning parties this weekend. They're listening to old episodes, they're getting together, which is wonderful. And I'm going to shout out to Ruin Bakes as well, who did get in touch. Now, Ruin Bakes is on Instagram, is on TikTok as well. Please go and follow them for an amazing cake content. They did message and said, would you like a cake for your 200th? But we said, don't send it. You're too far away. That's huge costs. And also, what if it's poisoned? Can't rule that out. And we'd admire you if you did. But they have been offering to do bits and pieces, maybe doing stuff on their channel this weekend. So go check out Ruin Bakes as well. We've also had lots of well wishes for episode 200. But first, I have to ask Nick.
Yes.
Well, are you ready
Wondered if that was going to come in.
to drink cocktails and talk about poison?
Eh,
Or, finally,
Finally.
we could drink poison and
Is
talk
it that
about
time, or
cocktails.
Is it that time? Have we arrived at that?
Is it?
Very possibly. Apparently it is.
Should we go with the first one?
Yeah, go on then, whatever that was.
Hooray, hooray, hooray. Well, it's no one's episode this week, But
Yes.
we have a lot to get through. We have a lot of highlights and stories to share from our listeners. But we can't possibly do an episode without a cocktail in hand.
No.
Now, every week, usually we choose a secret ingredient that is inspired by the tales that we tell and will flavour our cocktail of the week. But it's a special. And this week, the secret ingredient is everything.
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 Yes. Well, it's not exactly everything, is it? It's a selection of things. A selection?
A sexy selection?
A sexy selection.
A sexy selection.
Sexy selection of things.
It is. Because for this week's cocktail, we decided to enlist the help of our darling Patreon subscribers. And what we asked is we created a form for the Patreons.
I mean, that's exciting.
It was a big form. It was very, very...
We created a form. It's like,
know.
oh.
I did feel a bit weird saying to people, like, I've created a
created a
form.
form.
Like, people like, email us stuff like that, but I've made a form, and it's nicely organised. More of a survey, if you will. But, god damn it, the Patreons embraced it. What we decided is that we were going to give Patreons the chance to select a combination of ingredients from nearly all the possible ingredients that we have to create a cocktail for episode 200.
Yes.
So we put together base spirits, we put together Amaros, we put together twiggy shit,
fruity things.
Bitters, mixers, and we asked everyone to go in there and had a select number in this list, so it wasn't just a complete free-for-all of like a Long Island iced tea on acid. And we asked for people to vote for them.
Yeah.
The votes are in.
They are.
Of the most popular selections in each category. And I was surprised.
I was as well.
I was really surprised.
Yeah.
But what we're going to do this week, Nick is going to create a cocktail out of this. He's researched this. He's taken time.
I have.
You practiced a lot last night.
I did practice. I've been trying some things, and I got all the bottles out, and I've been trying various proportions and things. So I think I've come up with something that is not horrendous.
I'm also going to attempt to make something
Yes.
blind.
What do you mean blind?
Basically, I've not really looked
Because
at
if you're going to blindfold yourself and then have it on the cupboard, then I think we might have an issue here.
Oh my god, we could do that, Nick.
No, we couldn't.
Or you could just
No,
direct
we
me
couldn't.
left a bit, pory, stir it, get out. That's
Yes.
probably what's going to happen.
Yes. So that's not happening.
You're going to get a properly crafted cocktail, and then I'm going to try and use everything that Nick has taught me over 200 episodes
Right.
to make up a cocktail on the spot.
With the same ingredients, or are you going to have at it at the cabinet?
I'm going to have at it.
You are going for everything.
I am going with based on a little bit of the selections of people, but
Right.
but this is going to be halfway through the episode when I've drunk your cocktail some more fizz, and I may just go, you know what, I'll do what I like.
Fair enough.
So
That's terrifying.
but based on your research and
Yeah.
what people voted for, Nick,
Yeah.
what have you come up with?
Well, I think we're going to have to call it the poisonous cabinet.
Yay!
I mean, there seems to be no other name for it.
I like it.
So we're going to have a poisonous cabinet.
Wonderful. I think it is high time for us to slink into the Poisonous Cabinet kitchen then and shake up a storm. So we'll see you in a minute.
We'll see you in a bit.
And we're back.
Hello.
And we have the Poisonous Cabinet cocktail.
We do.
It's okay, so it's orangey. It's pretty. You're just downing your champagne while you go. Very nice.
Why not?
So now I have got the results
Yes.
of the cocktail selections, which I think are worth sharing, like the top ones in a bit. But would you like me to try it first before I start guessing?
I think give it a go. Well, you know what's in it. You've seen the ingredients.
Well, the thing is, I don't know what combination you've used.
Well, this is true, but you know what.
Well, I know there was everything
You know
as an option.
You know what drinks are in it.
All right, I'm going to dive in.
What do you mean, what combination?
Well, because there was the top one, or I don't know whether you use the top choice in each category,
Oh, I see what
or
you mean,
like
okay.
a combination of any of those. Anyway.
I see.
Right. Well, let's dive in.
Yeah.
It looks pretty. Mm-hmm. Smells good. Oh, it smells of alcohol. What? Jesus. Which you'd hope. Okay. Well, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Ooh. Oh, well done, Nick. Because that's tasty.
Do you like that?
I do like that.
Well, I'm glad you like that.
I like. Oh, yeah. It's not spirit forward.
No.
It's lovely and fruity though. Lots of lovely tastes there.
Lots of lovely flavours.
It is. No, it's really nice. It is. I'm not just saying that.
I'm glad.
If I hated it, I
Yeah,
tell
well,
you.
this is true. Yeah.
But it's
You're
shit.
throwing it in my face by now.
No, I like that.
Well, I was pleased with it. I came up with that last night.
You came up with that last night. After how long did it take you to come up with it?
I was probably at it for about an hour and a half.
Right. How many drinks did you have?
I made very, very, very small ones, so I wasn't making full versions.
Oh, okay.
But sort of, I started off with like just an equal quantity,
Yeah.
and then just going, oh no, a bit too much of that, little less of that, bit of more of that, adding bits and pieces, and then literally I was using a straw to taste
Right.
what it was like.
Oh, I admire you
and
for
then,
that.
Yeah, no, a bit more of that, and then it's a bit too much on that one. And
That's
yeah.
brilliant. That blows my mind.
So yeah,
The precision. That's why you're the mixologist, because I'd be making full cocktails.
yeah.
I mean,
That way,
hey!
I would be. I wouldn't be doing this if that was the case. I would still be in bed crying.
I wouldn't understand how to increase the quantities. I'd be making the most insane calculations, like that time where you tried to give me some instructions when we were watching Hamilton, and I made the strongest red hooks known to man.
This is true.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you just said you just need four of
And I
stuff.
think you took it as 4 bottles.
I did as I was told. Is what I did. This is nice. It's quite light, refreshing. So I have to guess a bit. So gin.
Yes.
So gin. The second most popular choice in the base spirits was bourbon. Yeah, it was bourbon. I'm looking at it now, and then rum.
Yeah. But
So,
I mean, 30% of people went for gin as their base spirit.
Yeah, immediately gin. That was right out there.
Yeah.
So the next round was twigs.
Yes,
Now-
and this is where I actually feel. I think betrayal is probably the correct word for it. Hurt, disappointment, anger, betrayal, bewilderment.
So when I made this, I thought I should put in an option for certain ones that people could skip it if they didn't know it or if it wasn't their jam. So within the twigs, we had Benedictine, green chartreuse, Strega, yellow chartreuse, or the option of none of the above. I was convinced this was going to be a chartreuse fest. 47% of people opted to leave out the twigs, and I love you.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the second most popular was
Benedictine.
Benedictine. You people did not pull the chartreuse cord.
No, they really didn't. I mean,
And it shows that they love me more.
No.
Oh my god. Oh, you're so nice.
I am legitimately wounded.
Yeah, I was surprised. I thought people would
this.
try and inflict horror.
So yeah, I mean,
But you know, the Patreons know what they want.
yeah.
So
fine.
there's, so you've not used any twigs? You didn't did you fly
Maybe.
off the hand? Oh, is there twigs in here?
Maybe.
What twigs are there in here?
I may have used some Benedictine.
Yay. That's what I
Because
thought
that
you
was
would do.
the top. That was the top one. I thought I can't have no twigs. I'm sorry. This is me making a cocktail.
Yeah.
There can't be no twigs.
That-
Apologies, people who have demanded it. You're wrong.
Well, that's what I assumed you'd do, like
so-
pick from the top two or something.
So I have. There is Benedictine in there.
And I like Benedictine. Benedictine is always good in there. Okay, so there's Benedictine in here. Yay! Okay. And then fruity and flowers. So I think Amaretto's in here. Is Amaretto
Yes,
in here?
there's Amaretto there. Yep.
Is the maraschino in here?
No.
Is it just because it tastes like cherries? But I think Amaretto does that.
Yes.
I know it's a peach kernel
Yeah,
that
yeah,
tastes
yeah,
like
no,
almonds and stuff. But we're into the fruity and floral and feisty
Yeah.
variety here. So Amaretto.
Yeah.
Is there another liqueur you've
There
used?
is.
There is another one from here. Oh, Jesus. Oh, the number one was elderflower.
No one was elderflower.
You put elderflower.
There
I
is
can't believe it was elderflower. It was number
yeah,
one.
I know. I was really surprised. Almost 23% of people chose elderflower as their favourite floral,
Fruity. Yeah. We had
look
like
at-
spicy in there as
Well,
well.
yeah, there was a lot in that category. You have like maraschino and chili, banana, blackberry, well, all the fruity things, triple sec and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But elderflower came out top.
Elderflower
so I
came out
couldn't
top.
not put elderflower in there.
Yeah.
There is a very small amount of elderflower in there.
Yeah.
Because it's a flavour I do not enjoy personally.
No, I like it even less than you.
So
I've seen you have an elderflower cordial, you bastard.
So I think it is in there. I think it adds to the slightly flораliness. But
Yeah.
it is very, 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 very subtle in the,
Oh, okay.
in the drink.
Yeah, because I can't taste it, and you did it well. It worked. And then amaretto's in here
yeah,
too.
then absolutely amaretto. Because in this category we asked people to pick their top two. So I thought best, I should use the top two.
People are going with their hearts.
Well,
They're
exactly.
going with
People
their
go with what
hearts.
they like.
I like it. Then we came to Amaros and Vermouths.
Yep.
So I'm looking at the results here. Again, none of the above
None
was
of
the
the
most
above.
popular. People were leaving it. But I'm not surprised the second choice was sweet vermouth.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
Because we use that all the time and it is
Yeah.
wonderful. Have you put sweet vermouth in here?
I have put sweet vermouth
You have
in
put
there.
sweet vermouth
Yes,
in here.
indeed.
I can't tell though.
Yep. No, there is some red vermouth in there.
It's good. It's good. Yeah, the second was dry vermouth. And most people are like, nah,
Yeah.
hate it.
Again, so we asked people to pick 2 from that one, and the top 2 were nothing and sweet vermouth. So I used nothing and sweet vermouth.
So nothing and that and everything. And then mixers. So sort of like your juices and your herbs and stuff that you could add into it there. The top being lemon.
Yep.
So I'm assuming there's some lemon in here. There's some lemon. Now, in terms of a sugary syrup, we said that was an option that you could have, but the second option here was honey.
I have used this honey syrup.
Yes, honey syrup's a good choice.
In there, not just neat honey, but a honey syrup in there, yes.
Yes, the third choice was raspberry, which is interesting. And then there was an even tie with champagne, lime, and mint, which would be a horrible combination. Nobody wants that. Well, let's chuck some fizz in there in a bit.
See what happens.
And then finally, bitters.
Bitters.
Do we have a dash of orange bitters in here?
We have a dash of orange bitters.
Yay.
Orange came top, absolutely. 29% of people enjoying the orange bitters.
Marvellous.
Yeah, and that came. So they've got some of those in there as well.
Excellent. Did you throw any wild cards in there?
No, I didn't. I went pretty much with what people said on there. So it is very much an everything cocktail of the things that won. Though I had to put some twigs in there. I could not put twigs in there.
No, of course.
So
I think. Well, that's an option.
Added the second option.
Nice.
But there we go. So that's what we come up with. And I mean, it's odd because it is. So yeah. So we've got gin, elderflower, red vermouth, Benedictine, lemon, honey, orange. Now, I mean, ordinary to me, that is 2 very different cocktails.
Yeah.
So you can add a gin, sweet vermouth, Benedictine, bitters. Interesting cocktail.
Yeah.
Gin, elderflower, lemon. Again, probably quite a nice cocktail. So sort of two individual sort of cocktails, probably quite nice. But putting them together was a bit of a mishmash of stuff, which is why the elderflower is probably in such a small quantity that it could probably actually not be there.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like,
but it might add,
as you said,
something.
would you miss it if it wasn't there?
That is very true. Would you notice
miss
if it wasn't there?
Yeah. Well, we'll be experimenting more later, I think. But yeah, no, I think that's a resounding success.
No, he's not half bad.
Basically, all the Patreons voted for their favourite things, and we've made you something lovely.
Put them all in there.
Put them all in there.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is marvellous. Well, the recipe will be out for that.
It's out. I even written it down.
Oh, look at you.
I know.
Well, I hope we would have. Yeah. You didn't, while drunkenly making cocktails last night, just shits in here.
So no, I put some of that in there. No, don't put that much. Put this much. Don't put that much.
Very nice.
Yeah, but show your workings out.
Defending it like
and
it's
then
PhD.
the square meters of tiles underneath my new bathroom on the next page.
But you decided to write down after making cocktails. Your bathroom's going to be fucked up. Love it. So we have our cocktail, which is great. Now later, gonna look back at the list, and I'm gonna go crazy and make something.
You know what thing we didn't have on the list?
What?
One thing we missed off the list.
What did we miss?
Absinthe.
Well,
only because I saw someone's comment about absinthe, and I went back and we haven't. That wasn't included in any of the options.
I completely forgot to add in absinthe, so maybe that should be a wild card because again, as Tara, that feisty minx that she is, has said, try another Corpse Reviver. She feels like absinthe and recording the podcast work so well together.
So I think that may well be in your version.
Maybe that
old.
Okay, and now I have to work out how much absinthe. Great. Okay, immediately it's going to be fine, people.
God, we'll be dead by the end of the day.
Thank you to all of our delicious Patreon subscribers who did contribute to this. Your hard work will not go unnoted because now we have created a cocktail and I'm going to create an incident in a glass later on. Now we have our drinks in hand, Nick.
We do.
200 episodes.
200.
People have been sending us well wishes as well. I'm going to share a couple of them on social media. Yeah, I think it's Andy was saying, I think you should revisit all the chartreuse cocktails. Fuck you, Andy.
I agree.
No.
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah, those people that know for twigs. Fuck off.
No, they are wonderful, lovely, snuggly people who understand that it's the work of the devil.
Wrong.
Kim Bonk, lovely, said that we must record wearing fancy hats. Of course we have. Yeah.
Fancy hats.
Someone wanted a compilation of me shouting out "Arstig alarm, Arstig alarm." It's a compilation. That's just a headache.
Yes,
isn't
can
it?
you do that in your own house, please?
Was it like? Was that like one of those videos from like the 2010s of like on YouTube where you have someone like doing it to a techno track or something? Yeah, Arstig alarm.
I'll let you.
Yeah, I'll make
sort
that
one out.
Yeah.
Please,
Someone
please
has it as a ringtone.
Don't do that here.
Please, this
very
is
upsetting.
People being fired, going, this is a place of business. We don't want to hear this arsenic alarm bollocks anymore. Jane Cohen as well said her one request for the 200th episode is don't edit it. Great, I'm on board with that, Jane. We're going to have to edit some of it because astonishingly enough, there's lots of bits of us just going, what are we doing? What are you doing? Do you want to drink? I don't know. What's over there?
Sinead, I need a wee.
This episode, shockingly, at the length of it when it comes out, has been edited. We do have outtakes that we share on Patreon, and that is one of the things that we introduced in the last couple of months on Patreon. For our cyanide connoisseurs who are a higher tier on Patreon, they get the After Dark snacks, where they get the preamble from the episodes, because we sort of warm up now, which makes the show better for everyone.
It really does.
It really does, because we can't go in cold to the episode. We've been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, we did it for 2 years. And we're like...
3 years, mate.
Yeah.
And then decided, no, we should have a chat. Those After Dark snacks that are on Cyanide Connoisseurs on Patreon, they're unhinged. I don't know how we get to the places we get to.
Yeah, and they usually get to genitalia pretty quick.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
And very weird ways of it. Just it's odd.
Yeah.
And it's wonderful at the same time. So there will be little snacks that we still do on Patreon. More biscuits.
More biscuits.
But yeah, we will leave this as raw and unedited as possible, because there's only so much time in the day that I have. We did reference as well, 200 episodes, it's crazy. How did we get here? Well, both Paul Ruse, lovely fan of the show, and Patrick Maxwell, wonderful, have referenced 2 separate episodes in which we said, we'll never get to episode 200. No! Apparently in episode 30... Paul Ruse said it was so funny to hear our pride and accomplishment at reaching 30 episodes.
Oh, yeah.
With the hindsight of knowing that now episode 200 is coming.
Oh, man.
And Nick, you took out your big hat for episode 30 and you put it on. You'd had a few. So he's expecting a massive top hat for today. I'm wearing one. 78. And then you changed from your enthusiasm with top hats from episode 30. In episode 78, you just went, I'll be dead by then.
This podcast is aging. This podcast, will argue. It really is.
We have both gone grey.
It drains you. My beard is entirely grey now. I blame it entirely on the podcast and Sinead.
We're 2 different people from where we were when we started.
We were young and full of joy and life at the beginning.
It's all dead now.
Look at us, we're wizened husks of people, full of biscuits and chartreuse.
I know, it's awful, isn't it? Aren't we awful,
Oh
terrible
no!
people? Our
Look,
lives
lovely
are terrible.
biscuits and lovely fizz.
A lovely cocktail, which I'm still drinking. It's very good. It is sweet.
I've almost finished mine. It's got bits in.
Why has it got bits in it, Nick? Well, did you not anticipate that?
Oh, I think bits of lemon.
Right. Squeezed lemon, or
yes.
just fucking threw some in there?
I had not strained it appropriately,
Right,
it would seem.
okay.
It's not very tasty. Quite lemony, that bit.
It's very nice. People also asked as well on CT asked us about, was there going to be a poison party with the guests from the show? Many people have mentioned...
Wouldn't that be lovely?
Emma from Real Life Ghost
Oh,
Stories.
fuck her. She's dead to us now.
She's always a highlight. Ro, Tim, Ben as well. The people that have guested on the show and done episodes with us. While we're not having a party together, what we can say is during our break, because after this episode we are taking a short break between seasons so we can rest, we can work on some other things. We do have guest episodes from Tim, from Ben, and from Emma. And from Emma on
have
Patreon.
To get Ro in there as well, so just to make the...
Ro will turn up.
Yeah, Ro will rock up at some point.
Ro will turn up and just do psychoanalysis on all of us while we're talking, going, really? Okay,
Really?
that's interesting.
God. We'll all be crying by the end of it in heaps on the floor.
Sort of like our lives are a party, apart from Tim, who's down in Devon, but he comes up every now and then, so we'll film him more in the future. And Lord Flashart also asked and said, is this finally the week where we're going to drink poison and talk about cocktails?
Well, very possibly.
Well, maybe. We'll see how it goes. It depends what I find in the cabinet.
This is true.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm slightly dreading that moment, I must admit, but okay.
Indeed. But getting on to, the last couple of years, highlights really from the last time we did a retrospective was at the end of season 2. Highlights from the last few years. What are your thoughts, Nick?
Well, we've done some shit.
Right, good.
Yeah. We've done some episodes. We've done some things that have been quite fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Done a lot.
We've done a lot. But what I do like is that how we have opened our horizons.
Yes, we have.
Considerably. From when we started, we were quite niche in the subjects that we covered and things.
Which is important to do, I think, in a podcast.
Absolutely, at the start, and so that's what we did for 2 years. Was that? So it's been nice to open things up a bit into, and in season 5 we're going to open up even further.
Yeah.
So that's been fun, being able to delve into different things that we wouldn't have covered earlier.
Yeah, because previously we started this, obviously, poison only.
Poison only, absolutely.
We opened it up into murders.
Yep.
And now have opened it up into weird crimes, but
Just general
always
crime.
staying historic.
Yes, absolutely.
Historic, madcap, and strange.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was looking through the list of all the episodes and things that we've done over the past sort of year or so.
Yeah.
And one of the ones that I really... There's one that is a personal highlight for me because it opened up the avenue into so many more things, was doing Adam Worth.
Yes.
The Napoleon of Crime. Now,
Napoleon of Crime.
Episode 180, so not that long ago we did that. But doing that story certainly led me into so many other areas. Then we had Frederica Mendelbaum came out of that.
Yeah.
Then going into the London gangs of the 40 Elephants and things like that. All these things that sort of spiraled out of doing that one story.
Yeah.
Opened up so many other options and so many other things I had never even thought about.
Yeah.
And never knew about. And all the New York gangs and things. And I want to do an episode in the future on the New York gangs and things because they're a fantastic bunch. So yeah, so that was a personal highlight of learning about that side of things, which I really enjoyed.
Definitely, and that's been in the last year. The last in season 4, moving into bios almost.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of people, and it's not just the boring kind of, and they were born here and they were doing that. It's finding interesting people from history, because at first trying to find more poison stories, even though there are still some that we can always cover. There are some that we probably won't cover because they're so dark, but you try and find poison stories, and then you're trying to find murder stories. But because of our niche, we are doing historic. We're trying to find the humor in them as well, and enough research. So that's a double whammy of difficulty, really, that you can find a story, but there's one source on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or there's multiple sources, but it's, a paragraph. And you can't really make a whole episode out of it. And we not only want to do a good story, we want to back it up with a lot of sources, which we put in the episode notes, and we want to spend time on it. But then also find, did they kill someone? Did they poison someone? Opening it up into weirder crimes, I think, yeah, you've hit the nail on the head there, that in the last year, doing those bios really has expanded it. And sort of, we've always had joy in this show, but that almost reignited a whole other level of joy.
Well, it opened up a whole new catalogue of crazy to look at and things. So, I mean, when we did like Thomas Blood.
Yes, I was going to say Thomas Blood. Because you were champing at the bit. You were like, I can do Thomas Blood, I want to do Thomas Blood.
That was like episode like 150 or so.
Yeah.
What was it, in the 50s. And it's just a mad cap story of a chap who raided the Tower of London.
Yeah. And it's crazy. And it's one of my funniest moments, I think, of the last year as well, of just the jewels in the pants. That's always good. We had Pinkerton. Obviously,
yes, absolutely. Yeah, we did him.
You did Bonnie and Clyde, as well. How can we forget the Great Train Robbery? Not the Great Train Robbery. Not the train robbery, but the Great Gold Robbery.
Well, we did also do the Great Gold Train Robbery later.
You wouldn't let that shit go. No, apparently not.
No, we did the Great Train Robbery, and then we did the Great Gold Train Robbery a bit later.
Yeah,
so, which is great.
And I like going back into sort of the Elizabethan and the Tudor period as well. And when you just go, let me just find a figure from history. So one of my favourite ones was Francis Howard Carr.
Yes.
Doing that story and going, we just profile this person and there was alleged murder and poisoning by jelly. But then you just go, we can just spend some time in the court.
Absolutely.
Of James I, of him just walking around with his dick out.
Fantastic time.
It's great. And weird paintings that I have to show you of a woman's boobs.
That's the second time we've had that conversation today.
Well, that was on After Dark Snacks, but now, hey. But yeah, just weird paintings of someone's nipples as well that I had to show you. Love that. Which is always good. Yeah, Madame Rachel as well and her makeup.
Yes.
Yeah.
Indeed.
When you try and expand it, and as we've always said, that we're going to stick to crime as much as possible. There's always crimes out there, but if we can tell the stories of these people, not just going the crime itself,
yeah, absolutely,
then it's completely opened up, and that's been a real highlight. And I think really in the last, very recently, who can forget, dildos with Sir Isaac Newton.
I've got that written. I've got that down. I mean, and then someone actually commented. Dildomancy is
you came up with that.
I know. I invented it, and I was half tempted to buy a load, and then we could try it. But
how what was the thought? How does it happen? Like the way they land?
Yeah, exactly the way they land.
So I don't know how what is the sticks? called? It's the
Is it
Chinese
the
sticks.
the I Ching, I think,
I Ching, yeah.
the sticks.
Yeah, and then the way they land.
The
is
way they
some
land
sort of...
is you then interpret it, like patterns they create and stuff like that. But generally, it's quite a lot of sticks. It's like 30
So
odd
we'd
sticks
have
or
needed
so.
30 dildos.
And I think that may have just like taken over my living room and then been difficult to explain to the cleaner. So, and also, I mean, well, yes, Mr. Taxman, why is this large expense here? Why have you spent £400 on dildos?
You know,
Well, it was one gag for the podcast.
It was one gag, and people wanted it.
And it was well worth it. What happened to them afterwards? That's not your concern.
Shut up. Also, why are you asking? Do you want to come round? You seem like fun. Yeah, I don't think we'll get over that. And that's still a testament to the really recent episodes. You still find the gems every now and then. I never thought that I would read the words dildo watches and Isaac Newton in the same story, but I did, by God.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was there.
Why the hell not?
No, lots of nice highlights there. Also, yeah, the Halloween episodes are always great fun, and being able to delve into more spooky stuff. We've had lots of guests as well on Patreon, and we've done more on the tiers as well on there for the Patreon listeners. We have book club as well that we've launched. So that's a book club on Facebook. And every month or every 6 weeks or so, we've been doing a little Zoom chat on Patreon for our book club members where we just talk about books and sometimes we just get really drunk.
I mean, I do enjoy how Sinead says we. I mean, Sinead does it. I've been to perhaps 2.
You've been to 2. So, you know what, Nick? No one misses you.
Yeah, I know, exactly. So no one goes, oh, where's Nick? We can't do this without Nick.
No, you know what? They ask where you are, but now they're bloody not.
And Sinead goes, he's home watching the telly.
Yeah, exactly.
He's a bastard.
What it is that the book club is me sitting on the stairs with a gin with mascara running down my face, and they're just watching me cry, going, Nick won't come to the book club. And they're like, but I just wanted to read Dracula. So those have been nice highlights for us, I think, really, just generally in how the episode has gone.
Yes, I agree.
Comments of people's highlights.
We can have a look at what have people said when they've asked about
what the hell have people said?
I mean, I've not got a cocktail. I haven't got any fizz left. I mean, what the service in this place is shocking.
Is there fizz left in the bottle?
Oh, it might be. Let's have a look.
We'll have some fizz. I'm so great. I spent £47 on a bottle of fizz that you are literally strawpediating.
We've had the same amount.
Have we? No.
See?
Now I feel the guilt.
Yes, as you should.
Well, you bought me presents and I brought you nothing.
We
have another biscuit to make up for it.
Oh, you've twisted my arm.
No, I've twisted your arm, sir.
I mean, highlights from people who have written in. Sinead's abandoning reason and just yelling fruits at every cocktail.
No, you can't. I don't know the fruits, Nick. I don't know what they are.
I mean, this is true. You do just yell random ingredients at me. Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah, I will credit to people on social media as well. There was sorry, that's your handle name, and I think it's wonderful. Just the words, thick snacks.
Thick snacks.
Which became a thing.
I have no idea where it came from.
I do know.
It was one of our episodes.
I've explained how I turned up at Rose House one night, and I misread a text from you because it was freezing. It was winter, and I turned up and I thought you'd asked me for thick snacks, and I brought you a load of crisps, and you went, I meant thick socks. And I just was like, well, I'd spent like £10 on snacks for you. It was like, I don't know what a thick snack is. And then we decided we're thick snacks. We are thick snacks.
Nice. Most definitely. More arsenic alarms.
More arsenic alarms, always.
And yeah, more an extra dramatic merch about arsenic alarms. So not sure how we can do that, but okay.
Just bigger exclamation marks.
Bigger exclamation marks. More exclamation marks is now required.
You famously love them.
I mean, I love an exclamation mark. Sinead. Yes, I'm not going to go into that. It makes me sad.
It's a work thing. We'll share it later. Yeah, people also saying as well, PC Morris, true hero. He was inspired the PC Morris series on Cyanide Connoisseurs as well. People will never get over Cornelius Van Booms.
Well, and neither should they. I feel.
They shouldn't. He's a wonderful thing. And yeah. That's why you still need a cat.
Yes.
To keep his spirit alive. Cornelius.
Dear old Cornelius,
He's
indeed.
a lovely man.
Yes. We love Cornelius.
A couple of people's highlights as well from a while ago as well. Cheng Yishi.
Ching Ishi.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Chinese pirate lady.
Yes, loving that. People do love your
People
pirate
love a
stories.
pirate, absolutely.
They like your China stories as well. I think it's
Yeah.
the passion maybe that you put into it. And
See if I can find some more. Absolutely.
they like your China stories, and also when you geek out over the Old West, as Lisa Hemmel has said.
Do I geek out over the Old West?
You do.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's fair enough.
You. To be honest, with your Old West stories,
I have done quite a few, haven't I?
you have, and I've been listening, and I've had sort of an out of body experience, not out of body experience, but just sort of watching myself listening, because the detail you put into them is really detailed. I don't know a better way of describing it. You know, you really lean into it. I think the first few we did, I was like, "Are you writing a novel?" I was sitting there going, "Huh? What?"
So it's like, cut all this shit out, cut.
No, I didn't. I left it. I was like, "Ooh, it's
fucking
interesting."
Great Plains, shit, cut that out.
Yeah, your old timey stuff, Stone Soup. Again, Lisa Hemmel has said that. I must mention as well, I think it was Angie and also Lisa were having this conversation on social media. But someone said they didn't remember, and I asked what episode it was in, and no one could remember what it was. But at some point in a story, someone made tea in a weird situation.
Right.
And they were like, I don't know, someone was dying of arsenic or whatever. This is their words. And someone gave them tea to help. And Nick said, "How desperately British."
I'm desperately British.
And that's their favourite moment.
Okay. That could have been many episodes of Victoria and London. Someone's going to give you tea at some point.
Someone is going to give you tea. You got more comments?
Could have been any. Another one that I had on my list, and also that Rachel pointed out, or Rachel highlighted on our list, was the Icebox murders.
Yes.
That we had. This was way back. I didn't write the episode number down. Oh, no, I did. 146.
146,
I did
yeah.
146. So we did the Icebox murder. Dear old Charles Rogers.
Charles Rogers.
So seemingly such not a vicious and violent, horrible crime, but then took a mad twist.
Yes.
At the end there, that he actually killed JFK as well.
Apparently so, yeah. So I covered this recently on TikTok. Literally, it's one of the last videos I did. I cut it and I did it, and I spent a long time before I actually posted it, because the Icebox one is genuinely chilling.
Yeah.
It's horrible, and it's got an element of potential abuse in there as well.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
it's quite dark. But then it just, the way it goes, oh, it was JFK. So many people were commenting in there about if he was CIA. Some people convinced he was CIA, and you know, keyboard warriors and everything like that. No one was being nasty, but going, if he was CIA, that's why you wouldn't have found a trace of him. That's why he disappeared.
This is true.
But also, if he was CIA, would he have committed such a brutal act and left such strange signs around for it?
Would you leave your diary lying around and all this sort of thing that his mother was supposed to have discovered and everything, which
exactly,
caused the murder and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think people thought that he probably didn't commit the JFK assassination.
I'm leaning towards probably didn't, personally.
But some people are quite okay with the fact that he was a spook, let's call him, and was able to vanish like that. But yeah, a lot of people just saying it's just chilling, the idea that he did this, flushing innards down the toilet and stuff, and then just no trace.
No trace whatsoever. Just absolutely just completely vanished.
I think it's up there.
Yeah, so that's a good one. I mean, one I hadn't really thought about it until I was going through and go, oh god, yeah, that was a good one. So,
Another highlight people have mentioned before, Catherine LeGras as well, has said episode 83, William Dove and the wizard's poison. Yes, whatever you did, a wizard did it.
A wizard did it. A wizard did it.
Yeah, it's just such a mad story of a young farmer man who should not have been a farmer, didn't understand farms, didn't understand cows, tried to feed his cows cake to fatten them up for market the next morning.
I mean, that's a great idea. I mean, I love it. Here, have a big bit of cake.
Cake for the cows.
Everyone loves cake. Cows love cake.
I mean, that should have been the fucking ingredient for
I think
once.
we'd already had cake as an ingredient.
The first episode.
The very first episode, the ingredient was cake.
Dundee cake, it was specifically. You can still have cake, just generally. But yeah, and then just a man goes, I need to go to a wizard to help me with my wife. And he was like, you will meet a beautiful woman. Great, I'm going to kill my wife.
Kill my wife.
No, don't do that.
But a wizard said so.
A wizard said it.
I mean, that is one of the highlights. I mean, any of the, I know we're going back a bit, but even like the Mary Bateman ones.
Yes.
Is still one of my all-time favourite ones.
Absolutely brilliant.
Just, the wizardy, witchy shit that people got away with. Just by making so much bollocks up.
Yeah.
I mean, God, yeah, Mary Bateman was back in, what, episode 12 or something like that. It was
I
way,
think it was
way,
in the
way,
20s or something
yeah,
like
it was,
that.
it
Yeah,
was way back. But yeah, the William
Prophet
Duff
Hen.
one and the was brilliant.
It's always good. Yeah.
And one that I did come across, and I can't remember when we did it, was the Netaferino one. It was a Deadly Nightcaps one we did. And it was a woman who was discovered dead on an island. Off
Yes,
the
I
coast of
remember
Scotland.
this,
And
yes.
she was connected with the Golden Dawn and all that sort of stuff.
And there were strange symbols.
So yeah, exactly. And she was lying there, sort of in a strange position and things, in this sort of hollow in the ground type thing.
Yeah.
So all those ones, absolutely bloody love them.
And people still go back to on Patreon as well. It was Charles. Oh, I can never remember his surname. Charles, who had the pitchfork through the chest.
Oh yes, indeed. Yeah.
Yes,
Is it Charles Walton.
I think it was Walton or Walton. I've recorded this episode so many times. I've done it on TikTok. But this man who was found with the pitchfork
Dear old
through
Margaret.
his chest.
She was there.
Margaret
Dear old
Murray.
Margaret Murray.
Margaret Murray, who was commenting saying this is a part of a witch cult and the horned god and all
Absolutely.
of that, and it just these bizarre murders.
Yeah. They're the ones I absolutely love. Those ones I find
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating.
And that's the thing, is that there's some witchcrafty occult stuff that we might delve into a little bit more into season 5. We're never going to be like a spooky podcast, but we like the spooky elements as long as there's a crime somewhere.
As long as we'll crowbar a crime in
We will.
somewhere.
A bit of fraud. Someone
Bit
stole a
of
chocolate
fraud.
bar.
Someone sued someone for libel. There we go. You know where we're going with this one next.
I'll also read what Jennifer Bradley also sent through and said, I just love you two. Your dynamic is what all partners in cocktail crime should aspire to. And then every so often, Emma jumps into the shenanigans. So look out, world. Do you work for Emma or something? We got Sarah talking about the 40 elephants and Cassie Chadwick. We had Mole Cutpurse as well, like again, who was on Patreon.
I mean, 40 elephants, massive pockets. I mean, all their shenanigans
pockets.
about how they robbed all these places, all their schemes they came up with, absolutely ingenious.
40 Elephants has been a big hit this
Yeah,
year
all
as well.
the,
Gangs.
the distractions that they used, and so clever, absolutely, and probably worked just as well today. We might try it.
Honestly, yeah. I think the Gangs and Frederica Mendelbaum as well have been such a hit. People love a girl boss.
Well, that is true.
They
Yeah,
love a
absolutely.
girl
Well,
boss.
you did the Australian. The two women who were
Yes.
fought over Sydney.
The rivalry,
The
yeah.
rivalry there. So that was another brilliant episode of evil girls.
And you sort of delve into
Evil
that and
lady
you go
people.
like, oh, I'm going to do the episode. And you go like, this is a whole thing.
Yeah.
This is bigger than I could ever imagine. I will also mention lovely Paul Roos. His highlight is Nick's very deep and sensual voice. That one time he was sick.
I mean, that was a highlight for me as well, to be honest. I mean, I could have recorded some choice phrases there for use on.
Yeah, you should have. Like, yeah, everyone was. The subscriptions went up a lot that week. Like, what's Nick going to say next?
No, someone with a cold, come and kiss me. I need to be ill.
No, everyone you know has a cold. None of us are going to kiss you. It'd be weird. Just leave tissues.
I need my sexy voice back.
Your sexy voice. To do what? What? Just to text people. Voice note. Record
Voice
adverts.
note people. Yeah, absolutely.
Hello. I'd like a pizza, please. This is a nice one from Britnick as well. We've had a lot of fans over from TikTok, which is reassuring, which is really nice. The silly videos that we do on there. And
Sinead
Britnick had said that the TikTok we did about the tale of Whipping Tom.
Oh dear.
Yes, Whipping Tom, who shouted Spanko out when he was smacking people. That has now turned into a fun-filled family game.
I read this.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Britney, their partner, their two kids, who are 8 and 6 years old, run around the house attempting to pull down each other's pajama bottoms and shout Spanko as we slap a butt cheek. Inappropriate, but yes, thanks to the poisonous cabinet.
It sounds bloody marvellous. So you crack on, I have to say.
Isn't it wonderful how a hideous tale of SA turned into a charming family game?
Absolutely. Yeah,
That's what we do.
enjoy.
That's what
we
we
inspire.
Pirates has a lot of love.
Pirates. I mean, who doesn't love a pirate?
Pirates, Tiffany, Christina, they all love the Tales from the Sea. They do indeed. Yeah, 40 Elephants is just up there. With loads
Yeah,
of
a
things.
lot of people mentioning the 40 elephants.
Yeah,
Indeed.
Francis Carr, the Affair of the Diamond Necklace, people loved as well.
Yeah.
That was Emma's guest
Emma.
one, which you weren't bitter about at all.
No, not at all. Was it chartreuse curtains? Something. Show tunes.
I can't believe how well you remember that episode, and you can't remember what we did.
I remember
on
that. I
Patreon.
remember that line.
The bitterness as you lay in bed, going, "I'm being replaced."
You pretty much going. Can Emma really encompass me? Oh shit, she can. Those three things. That's all I am.
Chartreuse Cretins cocktails. Very nice. And also Belladonna Badass, who's mentioned about Patreon, where we talk about weird stuff. The Great Duck Fight.
Yes.
Wolvercote, which was an actual story. We also asked people, what was the stupidest criminal that we've ever had on the show, Nick? And we're mainly focusing on the last 2 years, but, you know, let's give the shout out, obviously, to the great PC Morris.
Great PC Morrison.
I don't think Mike Malloy was stupid.
I think the people who were trying to get him were stupid.
Yeah, don't take an Irishman down.
No, exactly.
Drink.
Him,
yeah.
no, absolutely. He's a hero.
Yeah, Dr. Pritchard will always stay in my heart and my mind. I know. And that was an episode, again, I will never forget the Dr. Pritchard episode. It's one of my favourites of all time. How we went off on a tangent about the poison that was used, and it just ended up with me sharing a fact about how it's rubbed on a horse's genitals to make them run fast.
Fair enough. I have no memory of that, but I believe you entirely. I'm
do.
sure it happened.
Yeah, I was like, it's funny where this podcast goes, doesn't it?
Well, this is the problem. Is say I sort of remember vague bits about especially the episodes that I've written. I remember, because you research them, so they stick in your mind and things. But it's all the weird shit that we come up with that at the time is brilliant, and everyone else seems to remember. Me, it's gone.
Yeah.
I have no recollection of half this stuff that we come up with.
Well, we have to do it every single week, twice a week. 200 episodes, even more on
But
Deadly
it's
Nightcaps.
great that people do remember it. So.
I like the fact that they remember. That's why we do these surveys and say, please tell us what the hell we've done.
What did we do?
But yeah, stupid criminals. Obviously, those are the OGs. I think are up there. Dr. Pritchard with his sexy beard of glory, handing out pictures of his own face.
I'm putting the Tottenham outrage up there. Just because I just love that sort of Benny Hill sort of everyone in London chasing these criminals with all sorts pitchforks, baguettes, whatever they've got to hand. Someone on a unicycle.
Someone was throwing a potato.
Someone throwing potatoes out of a window.
A woman came out of her house and just saw a thing like, I'm throwing shit. Fuck it.
So yeah, absolutely. It's just this mad bunch of people who just got together with anything they could lay their hands on, chasing these criminals around central London. And I absolutely bloody love that.
Yeah.
It's absolutely fantastic.
It's a great story.
Sort of, police can't get through this crowd of circus performers who are chasing these people down. So brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant. I've got to love it.
My ones are still Thomas Blood's story, and again the theft of the crown jewels. Yeah. Of audacious and so well planned in many respects, and so sophisticated, and then just shoving stuff, just
smashing stuff to squash it down,
squashing it to plate, and then putting it in their pants. Just I'm just gonna walk out of here. No one will know. Clank, clank, clank. And then tried to run and clearly couldn't weigh down.
Not going, yeah.
And it was, love that. Absolutely love that energy. Rattlesnake James we did recently as well, who was killing, it was a grim story, like he killed his wives and girlfriends, but again, just this, kept putting people into car crashes, just kept careering cars off cliffs, and went, oh no, they died, insurance please. And everyone later on went, oh yeah, we really should have pointed that out.
Yeah.
We also had, I think still Roland Molyneux, the story of Roland Molyneux. So that was the New York gymnasium that they had with the Knickerbockers.
Knickerbockers.
Yeah, Knickerbockers.
Yes.
And it wasn't so much Roland Molyneux and his rival, and the fact that his rival sent a parcel of poison to his rival's house, and his sister ate it and would die. It was the doctor who turned up going, hello, and everyone's like convulsing and vomiting from having taken a small amount of poison, and the doctor goes, you know what, I'll test it by just yeeting a load of poison into my mouth, by eating the stuff. And then he starts vomiting, and then is going around going, whiskey is the only cure for poison. So he's just rinsing through all of their drinks cabinet while someone died. I just love that energy. It's like, then they got a proper doctor in. It's like, well, no.
One of the ones that sticks in my mind is that when we did the Guy Fawkes episode,
wonderful,
with the chap who was drying out his gunpowder next to the fire, and then was seemingly surprised when his face exploded.
You would be surprised at that, wouldn't you? Like, oh no,
it's just like a lovely bonfire. Oh, it's very warm. I know. I'm gonna scatter it with my gunpowder. That'll dry it out nicely. Oh look, my face is on fire.
It's on fire. I do love that. Like, going into the further history always gives you those moments of, still I think Francis Howard Carr and the court of James I and people walking around with their dicks out and just kind of like going, hey, this is funny. And everyone going, oh, well, don't say anything. He's the king's favourite. Yeah, we can't do shit all about this, really. Isaac Newton, the revelations around that, always good.
Always good, absolutely.
Always good.
Yep,
people talking, people's suggestions of the stupidest criminals as well. Christiana Edmonds comes up. I have a really horrible story, but the stupidity in which she enacted her crimes. I mean, would you call her stupid?
I was going through this and I was actually struggling to find stupidest criminal because I suppose there is an odd lot. I mean, there's a logic to why people do these things in their own mind. At least there is a logic to why they do these things. Yeah, and I think a lot of things are stupid looking back with the wonderful hindsight of modern science and knowledge and what have you. You go, of course, why would you dry out your gunpowder near a fire? That seems stupid. And all these sorts of things. I'm not sure Christiana Edmonds I would count as I don't deranged lunatic, maybe. But,
is she stupid as in thought? But I think she wholeheartedly believed she could get away with something, and she had this campaign of poisoning people around the man who she had a crush on, and then wanting to get sort of revenge or sort of clear her name, just poisoned random people. But she did think she was okay with it. She thought it'd be fine, and the detail she went into, it is stupid. It is like, why would you think that? But then that thought process never entered her mind. So I think you could argue that she is stupid. She was, completely stupid to think that would work. There were extenuating circumstances, but it all comes back to, I'll make it dark for a second.
Go for it.
Because why not? Was Mary Ann Cotton stupid?
No, she was just fucking evil.
She was evil, yeah. She really, looking at it, the same sort of logic with Christiana Edmonds and stuff like that. You go, Mary Ann Cotton's, with today's hindsight, like, how did she think she'd get away with it? She freaking did.
Yeah.
She did. Loads of these poisoners and killers got away with it. Yeah. And then they thought, hey! And they could afford to be really lackadaisical, they thought, because they had done it for so long, or they'd done it a couple of times and went like, hey, I'm going to get away with murder. And then they were caught like, oh, shit.
Yeah. But in that logic, you've got people like the acid bath murderer type things, who's John like, Haig. Well, if there's no body, then there's no crime. It's like...
Most famous about that, yeah.
That's not entirely true.
Genuinely was just operating
was
under...
entirely convinced that if there's no body, there's no crime to be answered for.
There's no Google back then to double check.
So stupid, ill-informed.
Yeah. Educated.
Well, not in the right areas, it would seem.
No, absolutely, yeah. That's an interesting one, is that, like, how stupid can you be? Are you PC Morris level stupid? That's the thing, I think, is always the test. Others have suggested Santa Claus bank robbers just being awful. Just being awful. Just like, why did you do this?
Dreadful people.
Yeah, that was up there, actually.
Yeah, a few people have mentioned that, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, Anne Puckett said about the Carnegie Hall con as well.
Remind me.
So it was the woman who did all the long cons around there. Her name, sorry, has escaped me, but she was a master con artist. But then she decided that she was going to try and con the Carnegie family out of money. And she convinced the right people who were in that sort of area. I wouldn't say she's stupid. I think that was very bright.
Absolutely, yeah. Incredibly ballsy and absolutely, yes.
Ballsy? Like, it's bold. It's not, I don't think it's stupid. It's bold.
Yes.
It didn't work. But, I mean, probably a lot of other people got away with that sort of stuff and no one talked about it.
Yeah.
Well, Eloise has mentioned Dr. Lanson in episode 1.
That's going
right
back.
Who was he trying to fool when he ran out of that office and was like, no, they won't suspect me. I think that was the story that converted us of like, yeah, okay. He's like, here, have this cake. Run out of the building. No, but no.
No, I don't think so.
I quite like Joe Ball.
Joe Ball.
With his pit of crocodiles.
And yes, the alligators.
I think anyone who went to his bar was stupid. Because it's just, can't have a drink, see some alligators.
Yeah, see, he
They'll
wasn't
kill
stupid. Everyone around him was stupid.
Yeah, exactly. He was fine.
He was actually rather clever. I'm surrounded by stupid people who are going to be eaten by alligators.
Yes, exactly. It's not a good... To be fair, though, I would definitely go to that bar. I'm sure I said it on the episode. As like,
no.
well, would you like a beer and to see some alligators? Fuck yes.
No,
100%. I think I can pet them, though. I've had a glass or two. How many glasses of champagne have I had?
A few.
Shut up. No, 2.5. That's all that's in the bottle.
And
3.
a cocktail.
And a cocktail. Yeah. I would be in that pit with the alligators going, I can bond with them and they love me.
Thank God we're not in Florida.
I would be going to... I don't like zoos.
Instead,
on
I'm
principle.
going to unleash you in spoons later.
No, ew. They're sentient. Ish. No, all I want after this is to go to a lovely animal park and I will be pressed up against the side that the tigers think I can talk to them. That's it. The tigers think that. I think that too.
Yeah.
I'm selling it well.
It's going really well. Okay, so we were asking people also what their funniest moments from the past few episodes, past few years are. Now, this could quite easily dovetail with stupidest moments. Also, I mean, I was again trying to rack my brains about the funniest moments, and I find that generally the funniest moments come when we're just talking shit, and they're the bits I don't remember. So I've actually written down William Cholmer and Dildomancy. That's just being one of the how did that happen?
How did that happen?
It
was a moment of brilliance.
Yeah, this is one of those things that we just got randomly talking about.
Yeah.
And another one that I do remember being giggling away at. Do you remember the Nun of Monza?
Oh, remind me.
So this was Deadly Nightcaps episode.
Yeah.
This was a Patreon episode from 141.
Yes, I remember.
So best part
we
of
talked
a year
about
or so ago.
evil nuns.
So this was a nun in Italy who did all manner of terrible things with a priest.
They're very evil, though. It's
very evil. But then there was deaths involved.
Yeah.
But do you remember the film posters? Because she was a salacious nun.
Yes, I remember you sharing those.
Yeah, absolutely. So a nun who, unfortunately, I couldn't find my script that I written on it, so I can't remember the exact details. But all I can remember is the film posters.
Yeah.
From this episode, is this nun, who took a priest as a lover, and then scandal ensued. People died. Other nuns trying to hide the fact that this nun was shagging a priest. People died. But then subsequently, many art house Italian films have been made.
Yes.
About this, with some fairly racy film posters.
Yes, I remember us looking them at the time, and again, I can't remember the taglines. We can only assume it was she served God, but she served his penis. Something like that.
Something similar.
Also, for the context, we've not explained the story well because you just kept saying there that she shagged a priest and people died. What were they doing? What were they doing?
I can't actually remember.
I know. It was just... They were shagging so much that plaster fell on the heads of those below, and they were poisoned by the asbestos. It was a great story. It was a great story.
That cocktail's really gone to my head.
We can't remember every detail of every story.
For some reason, I cannot find the script for this one.
Normally,
I keep all my scripts. That I've written.
I keep them too.
And for this one, I cannot find it, and I didn't have time to re-listen to the episode.
No, but you got the gist of it.
I remember
she shagged a priest and people died.
I remember I was scrolling through going, oh, that was a really, really good one.
This is why on Patreon it's great because our patrons will go, you've done this, by the way.
Yeah.
And they will fill us in going, this is the details.
Yeah. So exactly, people tell us what happened with the nun. She was a very, very naughty nun.
I will say in the last year, one of my funniest highlights is still your ongoing thing about the Great Train Robbery. I mentioned at the beginning of you just going, because I know you wrote that for a while, and like the Great Train, not the Gold Robbery, the Great Gold Robbery, and we filmed it, luckily, of me just going, I don't understand what's happening. That was good fun.
That was fun. I mean, isn't that a sexy nun?
Oh, it was a sexy nun. Yes.
I mean, she's a sexy nun.
She's chewing her fingers. It's
yeah,
weird.
Exactly. No, she's chewing a cross. She's chewing.
I thought that was a finger. I thought it was a very long finger. To be fair,
no, she's gone crucifix in a slightly desperately erotic sort of way.
Well, you don't you, a crucifix? That's not going to end well.
No, indeed.
Yeah.
What
she's an
happened
evil
within the walls of the convent of Monza, she will never, ever forget.
Jesus.
Indeed. I mean, that nun's having a good old time as well.
I kind of want to watch that film. I'm sorry. It's very Italian art film.
Exactly.
I'm not sure if you watched it now, how progressive it would be.
I think progressive could be struggling.
But sexy.
Yeah, I like this also. The true story of the Nun and Monza from the director of The Other Hell. I mean, okay.
There's two?
You're a scary director.
This
man.
is the sexy hell. This is where the sexy lives.
So I need to revisit the Nun and Monza.
Oh, I love that. Well, really, one of my highlights of recent times, I'll say, is Marguerite Steinhall. Blowjob lady. Absolutely. Yeah, the president of France who died while receiving attention from Marguerite.
I mean,
there
are worse ways to go, to be honest. Reach that point of the proceedings.
It's great. It's just a great story. And then her story became so batshit later on as well. Of just then she was apparently involved in like a murder kidnapping plot and all of that sort of thing, and like people were killed around her, but just her going to the president and as her favorite, and the lifestyle that she led in France with her husband who was painting all the people she shagged, like formal portraits, going well, I could tell people you shagged my wife, so why don't I just do a formal portrait for your office? It's like, this is weird.
Because everyone wants that in their office.
Everyone wants weird erotica. The absinthe murders as well, actually. The evils of absinthe.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that was really enjoyable. That was great fun to research, because delving into one of the spirits really was good fun, and the history of it and all of the lore that's associated with absinthe, and then you realise everything you know about absinthe is rubbish.
Yeah.
And the reality of it, of like why people say, oh my God, it's so trippy and it does all these things. Like, no. Just bastard strong, not invented in France. All of these things, but then Jean Lefray, I think it was, who was the man who did the famously in the trial, killed his wife and his family, horrific murders, and they said it's because of absinthe, and it was like, no, it's because he drank everything in France beforehand, and absinthe was included in there, including a lot of brandy and homemade brandy and wine, and he had a sausage at some point, and then he killed his family. So I don't think you can blame absinthe for that.
Not for everything, no.
No.
Well, indeed, we were from Vera, who says, how can I choose? Almost every episode makes me laugh.
Aww. You guys!
We try.
What's episode 185?
Episode 185, let me have a look.
Have a look.
Scrolly.
People loving the explanation for Frederica Mendelbaum's failure to appear in court. Absence of a body is often better than presence of mind.
Oh, see, me and Hummel and Hume.
Yes.
The two really dodgy lawyers. I mean, they're a fantastic pair.
Yeah.
All the bloody shit they got up to. 185 is the Christmas special you did, the Santa Claus bank robbery.
Yeah.
That was episode 185.
It was mad. It was crazy. Yeah, Aunt Gordon's finishing school is up there as well, every time she's mentioned. And I think this is very niche. Every time we go, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you. Oh. And every time you go, I'm all right.
I don't know, where's that come from?
It's just what you say all the time.
No, I say, I've never taken it from anyone.
No, you just say it. No, it's just your little thing.
It's my thing. My thing I do.
Thing, mate.
Yeah.
Any innuendos are always welcome.
See, and Nick's trying to keep it classy. I try. People know I try so hard to keep this podcast at a level.
You lie like a rug.
Sinead just degenerates into filth.
Filth. As soon as I give you a kernel of filth, you leap upon it like a dung beetle and you roll it into the palace of gross. That's what you do.
Seems harsh.
But true. Still, people always say the Golden Cadillac tasting. It will not. I don't think it's ever been topped as the worst cocktail.
Oh no, I think it has.
I know the mustard cocktail was up there.
We had a mustard one. We had a pork one as well.
That was the mustard, though.
Was that the mustard one? Yes, it was.
Because the pork before was we had bacon, which was great. You did a bacon was fine, wash, which was incredible. When you made some effort, mate. You know. No, you're very proud of that. No, the mustard one was the cocktail that would have been a great sauce over a pork chop. It was perfect, as in,
but
genuinely
not
you'd invented
good
a
for
sauce,
drink.
but not for a drink. But the Golden Cadillac was just, I do listen back to the reaction of that every now and then, and it's genuine.
See, I've listened to that one back. I'm thinking I must have done something wrong
Because it's so highly rated.
Because people bang on about that cocktail. And there are bars in America that are famous for just doing that cocktail. So I must have screwed it up somehow for it to be so vile.
Nick, is tonight the night?
No.
No, you don't have any orange juice, do you?
No, I don't have
and
orange
also,
juice.
I will
Thank God.
rather tear out my eyes.
So maybe one day we'll revisit it and I'll watch a YouTube video or something.
Or we could go to a bar and maybe one of these so-called famous-y bars or whatever.
just
Maybe
see-
everyone's lying.
So yeah, maybe someone's lying. Maybe, yeah. Who knows?
I don't know. It was just so bad.
But
it was
whatever
so
I
bad.
made was desperately unpleasant. Yeah.
People do enjoy your expression on the wonk,
On the wonk.
which is an expression, and I will give you credit for that because in the episode I was like, "What the fuck is that? What are you talking
I
about?"
think wonky.
It's I'd never heard of it before you said that. I was like, "On the wonk? What the fuck?" And then people are like, "No, I think you'll find it's an actual
It's an
expression."
actual thing. It's a real thing.
Yeah, I don't trust anything I
A real
say.
thing that other people say. It's not just me.
Also, Jerome Caminada.
The detective chappie.
The detective chappie.
Yes.
And the cross-dressing Boyle.
Boyle.
The cross-dressing ball.
Yes.
Yes. That he
The way
had to break that up.
he hid in a piano or
No,
something.
no, it wasn't the cross-dressing ball. So he did hide in a piano
That was a
to
different- that was a
catch a man
different
who
thing.
was stealing sheet
That was
music.
it, yes.
And left out, surprise, bitch! But no, he broke up, and it was just a footnote in the story of me
Yes.
reading about him. It's like, what the fuck? Him going to this full-on ball in this warehouse that had blacked-out windows, and all of this, and all these gentlemen turned up in fabulous ball gowns.
Oh, Jerome, you were a hero until that point.
Yeah, and it was wonderful. And then they smashed through windows and came down skylights to go, no dancing for the gays, no.
Couldn't just let them have fun in their frocks.
Couldn't let it lie. Oh, yeah, Fear of the Diamond Necklace. Yeah. Everyone loved that.
Everyone loves that.
Everyone thinks it's so funny. Emma turning up on the show, everyone loves that.
Oh, Aunt Gordon. We're going to have to bring Aunt Gordon back. She hasn't made an appearance recently.
No, so the characters that we've invented on the show, we've had Aunt Gordon, obviously.
There's been a few.
Her finishing school and her fabulous
Yeah.
staircase. And then we also had Mistress Cutforth.
Mrs. Cutforth and her pirate wife.
She was
the pirate wife.
the wife of a pirate, we decided, and was the wife of a man who took arsenic, and then ended up as the wife of a poisoner we covered on the show, and I wrote a song about her, which is on Patreon as well. I just decided that she was the greatest serial killer of all time, but Mistress Cutforth we called her. York and Niblet, the crime-fighting duo.
Crime-fighting duo.
Yeah. Who one Patreon subscribers named themselves after, and the Duchess as well.
Yes.
The Duchess came up.
She's Aunt Gordon's patron.
She is, yeah. And
Absolutely.
I kept writing little short stories about them, which I've not finished, and I'm sorry, but they're there. They're there in embryo of them having various parties. So maybe in the break I will finally finish one.
Who knows?
And send them to us.
No,
but yes.
we'll have to reintroduce Aunt Gordon.
If you do love Aunt Gordon, do check out the merch store, because we have T-shirts and designs featuring Aunt Gordon's finishing school, obviously of 1888. Well, Nick, we've been chatting away about
For hours.
how fabulous we are for a long time.
For a long time.
Are you ready for a drink?
I think, are you going to, well, hopefully not blindfold yourself and go rummaging around the kitchen?
Well, I think it's time for us to take a short break.
Okay.
But then we're going to try and track fucking what? Jesus.
We're trying to do something.
I think we should take a tiny, tiny break for our advertisers, and then come back and tackle the drinks list once more.
Okay, let's do that.
Well, Nick,
Hello.
we're back
We are.
with more drinks.
Terrifyingly.
So we had a short break there where we scuttled into the Boys' Cabin kitchen.
Yes.
We continued recording for Patreon just to see the incident that happened.
The terror.
Where I tried to work out how to work with the ingredients Nick hadn't used that were still in the top sort of 3 or 2 or 10.
You started off well and you just had made
I know,
shit
I
on
just
the end.
melted down
Yeah,
afterwards,
it went
but
horribly
tried to learn everything that you taught me. So you know what's in this,
Yes.
of the combination. So I went with bourbon, which was the second best
was.
base spirit. Everyone was voting for blackberry. So use the creme de mieux.
Yeah.
So blackberry liqueur. And then I panicked.
Yeah.
Then there were lots of options that I stacked up in front of me.
Then there was ginger, but you threw that away.
No, I didn't. It would be too sweet because it was a ginger syrup. And I thought,
Could have been the ginger liqueur. You had the option.
I know. No. I wasn't feeling it. Wasn't feeling it.
Okay,
Wasn't feeling
fine.
it. You just kept going while I was panicking. I taste it, you stupid bitch.
Just
all the way
taste,
through.
just taste it. Just taste the bloody thing.
And then added in some Campari for bitterness. And then, on Tara's request, a spritz of absinthe at the end. So now we have the, what should we call this?
Yeah, what are you going to call this?
The Cornelius van Vinkbooms.
The Cornelius. Love it.
The Cornelius. So I think we should dive in. Merry Christmas, Nick.
Merry Christmas.
Okay.
I'm terrified. Okay. It's a thing.
Thoughts?
I may not have a second.
Oh my God, why do you hate me? It's not bad. It's the words I would describe are jammy. Well, it's not the worst thing you put in your mouth. I'll just leave that there. What's wrong with it in your opinion?
No, it's
not great.
It's not great.
It's not great. It's not as bad as I thought it would be.
It's not undrinkable.
You're still gonna drink it.
I'll still drink it.
Yeah.
I'll still drink it. I think what hasn't helped
Yeah.
is because this is rye,
Yes.
which is generally a bit harsher
Yeah.
and a bit sharper on the back of the throat.
Yeah.
If it was bourbon, it might have been a bit softer. And
I was working on the bourbon principle,
Yeah.
but I
So let's go with that.
I was.
But a bourbon, which is generally a bit softer and a bit smoother. I think the rye and the Campari have combined to make something quite spiky.
Yeah, but then you've got a lovely blackberry hint behind it.
I'm not getting much of a blackberry
You're
hint,
not.
I
I am
must
getting
admit.
all blackberry, to be fair. Maybe mine was extra blackberry. And doesn't the absinthe just lift it at the end?
And the absinthe makes it all go mad at the end.
It's not undrinkable.
It's not. No,
It's not undrinkable.
Certainly not. Certainly not.
It's a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a...
It could use perhaps a slight refinement.
Okay, fine. All right. You know, I was working with what people gave me. You
And you've
fuckers
done
out there
damn
love
well.
blackberries and bourbon. And shut up.
It's lovely.
If you want more fizz instead, we can have that.
No, I shall drink this for the time
Are you
being.
sure? Because I probably want more fizz. To be fair. It's not bad. It's just not great. It's got a lot of bitterness at the end where you go, oh.
Yeah, it's quite sharp going down.
Yeah, but if you'd made it and you went, oh, it's lovely, I'd probably go, delicious. Oh, yeah, I can taste all the flavours. It's so spirit forward and bitter forward.
So many flavours.
So many flavours.
All 2 flavours.
You know what? The principle is, 2 or 3 ingredients is all you need.
This
I
is
didn't
true.
want to sully it with other stuff. And maybe I should have.
I appreciate the purity you were going for.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks. Oh, bestie. Oh.
Well, it didn't work, but I
Oh, my God.
I appreciate where you were aiming for.
Okay. I tried with what was given to me.
Yes.
Give me all the rest of the cabinet. I'll make you up a banger. It will be a margarita.
Crack on then.
All right. Shall we carry on with our
Yes.
retrospective,
Let's
shall
do
we?
that.
So now that we've got a stiff drink in hand, and by God, it's stiff.
Oh, yes.
So we talked about funny and highlights, but,
Yeah.
this is a true crime podcast.
It is.
Scary moments.
Scary moments.
Scary moments. Let's be serious for a minute.
Oh, do we have to?
Yeah, I think we should.
Okay.
I think after that drink, yeah. We're steeled up for it. So scary moments highlights of really the last couple of years about the crimes that have made you go, ugh.
Yeah.
I think that's really what we go for. We don't go
Yes.
for full-on ick.
No, indeed. I don't think we're looking at scary people are cowering behind a sofa when they listen to the podcast. It's not that type of scary, but more just things that are just like, oh, that's unpleasant. That's not very nice.
Yeah.
And there's a few that have that are in there that we've done.
What has
recently.
shaken your tree?
So again, I'm concentrating on the more recent ones. So we've done. I mean, a lot of people I know have commented on Jonestown.
Yes, we
which
did release
absolutely
that.
was a very unpleasant experience.
It's funny how it's the one. I've spoken about
but
it.
it was quite an
before.
early one as well.
It was an early one, spoke about it, but releasing it now, 3 years later, we decided we'll release it when you were not well, you couldn't speak, and we decided to put it out. And people have actively said, the first time people have said, I have to save this episode, I'm not sure if I can listen to it. And people who have listened to it, there's been no jokey comments, there's been no kind of flood of information, which we usually get from the fans. And people are just going, because we use some of the audio in there as well. Not of, well, you know, some of the most disturbing audio is not of the actual incident, but really in the build up to it and what Jim Jones was like. And it still beggars belief. I think Jonestown is up there with unbelievable tragedy.
Yeah, for sure.
And how a cult can twist and turn. As we've always said, listen to, if you just want to subscribe for a month and then leave if you can't afford it long term. But there's lots of Deadly Nightcaps episodes on Patreon. But we did that special with Rowanna Bond, who has been an expert witness with us before, and we did a deep dive into cults. And having a psychotherapist talk about it, incredibly eye-opening, really, really interesting. As in, the things you think about with cults. From, you know, I suppose from like a consumer perspective, if you look at a TV show and kind of like, oh, I loves me a cult. I loves me a cult. If there was a book about a cult and a fictional show or something like that, oh, I'm going to lap that up. Because we all reckon we could beat a cult. We always like, oh my God, I would see it a mile off. But you're fascinated by the psychology behind it. You know, what drives people to join a cult. And talking to Ro and talking to the psychotherapist and reading more about it, you know, everything you think, from my perspective, goes out the window of how easy it is and how it's happening today.
Oh, yes.
How it's happening in the smaller scale with all sorts of people, how easy it is to suddenly be in a cult, be in a toxic relationship, but also en masse. That's what's happening around the world. And I think that's why Jonestown still resonates with people, because it started from such a good place. Allegedly. Well, it did. I mean, it absolutely did. Well,
as they all do.
It was all about equality. It was all about, you know, complete equal rights, and then turned into something
unpleasant.
Deeply unpleasant.
Indeed.
So yeah, we always encourage people to weigh in about cults if you want to hear more of them. They're a funny subject to cover.
Yeah.
Love to cover more, but they're also a bit like, you know, I've thought about Heaven's Gate on the main episode.
Yes.
I don't think I can do that on the main episode.
No, that probably is a Patreon shot one.
We do more modern stuff on Patreon.
It's a curious one.
Because it's in your lifetime as well. Yeah. You know, it's unsettling. But yeah, cults. You all love a cult, by the way. You've all weighed in going, that was brilliant. But I'm traumatized for life. It's like the book talk trend that's going around going, here, read this book. It will absolutely destroy you as a human being. I loved it.
Great.
I need to get my notebook. Carry on, though, with your thoughts.
Okay. I mean, there was also, we've got things like, I know, it was a time ago, we did Hinterkaifeck.
So good.
It's just terrifying. There's like, is there someone living in my house? Just that complete unknown. And it is in a similar sort of vein where you had the Sodder family as well.
The Sodder children.
Just the children who just vanished. Were they burnt to a crisp in the fire? Were they kidnapped? Just no one bloody knows.
I think Hinterkaifeck is still up there with just chilling. The Sodder children. I think the Sodder children. It did feel at the end that I think they perished in the fire. I think it was just tragic. A lot of weird stuff around it. Hinterkaifeck, I don't know what happened there. My one is Hazel Drew, which resonates with people around the world. The inspiration for Laura Palmer, in Twin Peaks.
Yes.
Of this young woman, and probably just a tragic murder, a random killing of a young woman. What was she doing in that area? You know, all of her story, it's so weird. And just the hint of, we're not sure what's going on here. And the parallels with...
No.
Yeah, and maybe because she was the inspiration for Laura Palmer in Twin Peaks, makes you kind of go, ooh, and everything. But I've told that story on TikTok, and it's got thousands and thousands of views and loads of people just interested. No one really surmising a lot, just wanting to watch this really creepy story of a girl who was walking around happy as Larry in her finest gown in the middle of nowhere, and then ended up in the lake. The pond.
Then who knows? Indeed. So,
also, the disturbing ones we've done in the last year or so, maybe the last 18 months, it's again revisiting the female nobles who murdered their servants.
Okay, we have the Russian.
Yes, Danya. Is it Danya
Solchkov, something like
Solchkov.
that, yeah.
They had al-Hassan. We've obviously had Elizabeth Bathory in the
Yes,
past as well. But all these noble women, you know, Elizabeth Bathory being such an interesting story, and people
Yes.
have kind of, when you tell her story, especially on other channels, people say, oh, well, she was just a scapegoat for all the men around her. That's quite possibly true with Elizabeth Bathory. I don't think she was a very nice person. Was she literally bathing in virgins' bloods, and was she a vampire?
Yes, I think there's a lot of artistic license that has been taken in a lot of her story, but I still don't think she was a very pleasant woman.
No, she wasn't a very pleasant woman, and I think a lot of people were after her land at the same time. But then you look at the other nobles around, and they're surprising in number. There's a couple more that we've covered of women with power, noble women who've had heartbreak or not a very pleasant background, but they completely take it out on their servants.
Well, you got like Delphine de
Yes.
Dear old Kathy Bates.
Yeah. As in American Horror Story. We're not slandering Kathy Bates, by the way.
So absolutely, it's that slight bit of power, and you ladies go crazy.
Yeah. We love to fuck shit up. But yeah, I think and they're always the cases that get elevated as well, and people sort of warp it over history about, give a woman a hint of power and she can get away with stuff. I think with Danya, is it Danya? Is it Danya? With a Russian noblewoman, she did this for years, beating them and murdering them and torturing them, and it was brought to the court, to the king's courts, to the nobles, and saying like, well, do something, and they were like, she's probably fine.
She's a noble lady with loads of money.
She has money and land. So until people after 6 years stopped going like, oh, okay, we'll intervene maybe.
Yeah, absolutely, it's terrifying what you could get away with that when you had that level of power, that level of class. That's
what I'm feeling. Yeah, I liked your story as well as Martin Dumoulin.
I've got here Martin Dumoulin, the French chap.
The Women in the Woods.
Yes,
the Women in the Woods.
Absolutely.
That was a great story, Nick.
Absolutely.
That's one where you go, why isn't there a film?
How he just lured all these servant girls and people across into the woods, traipsing through fields.
Yeah. Is it far?
Is it far?
Fine.
But then the wife just going, yeah, it's fine.
Just completely complicit.
Fine, completely complicit. Yeah, and stashing all the clothes and everything that they got off these murdered women. Ugh. Yeah, supposedly France's first serial killer. So they say. There's another one that I've got in there, just of scariest chap. Do you remember Carl Tanzler?
Yes.
We did a Deadly Nightcats episode on him, and he didn't murder anyone.
No, he did some weird shit.
He was obviously
a simple way of saying it.
He was a doctor who became massively obsessed with one of his patients, a young woman, one of his patients, and when she did pass away, natural causes, she was very ill. He was just absolutely obsessed. Stole her body, sort of mummified, preserved it as best he could with bandages and what have you, and had her sort of sat up in his house for years until the relatives actually figured out she wasn't where she was meant to be, lying in her grave, and came a knocking. But that's just that's pretty freaky as well, I find.
Yeah, that is quite weird. That's quite weird.
Yeah,
quite mad.
And the pictures that you can see of
the body,
of this young woman, sort of preserved and kept, and just like lying there or sitting there in this chap's house
it is weird.
It's a very
like,
disturbed individual.
I think there's a scene in Red Dead Redemption, I think, and it sounds so crazy, but it's like stranger than fiction, where you're helping an old man gather flowers for his wife. There's a little side mission in Red Dead Redemption, and you spend ages like gathering flowers, going, "Oh, this is nice," and then go to his house, and his wife's a fucking corpse in the corner.
It's like Psycho, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exactly what it is. It's the mother in Psycho at the end.
Yeah, just preserve their body and just look at them for ages, like Ed Gein and all that. Like, those ain't pretty. Those are pretty
fun.
Scary. I think Hinterkaifeck is up there with a lot of our fans. They've written in. Many people have mentioned what the fuck happened there. And it's the needing to know there.
It's a
that
lot of the unsolved ones.
desperation.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Queen of Madagascar as well. Rana
Queen
Navratilova. Yeah, with a very evil nut.
She was a brutal woman.
Brutal woman. Absolutely. Yeah. Very, very brutal. Someone said actually the scariest moment was me eating the jelly ooze that you made that time.
That did not go well. Those jellies were not good.
I maintain they were fine. And that was when we were doing videos. And again, our camera issues have persisted. So we need to pause that for a bit. But there's still video highlights of me eating the jellies. The margarita jellies. And I like them. But they were not the vision that you had.
No, I was hoping they would be a bit more set than they actually were. So...
I like it.
Yeah.
Others have mentioned again way back when, but the teacup poisoner.
Oh, that is way back when.
Graham. Yeah, episode 6.
Dear old Graham Young.
Graham Young still is fascinating to people, and having told this story again online on TikTok, people still just flood you with comments of just questions of but how and trying to understand why he did all these things, and you're like, but it's not possible, and people trying to explain it. I think with men though, they kind of go like, oh well, that's bizarre. With women they go, oh well, they were bitches or something. Like, it's horrible, it really is. But Graham Young, when you retell that story in a really short space of time, you say this was his life as a teenager, this was his life as an adult, this is how many people he killed, and he did not give a shit.
No, absolutely.
And he was experimenting on people, really
just seeing what would happen.
People have mentioned. Again, another mention is the baby farmers.
Yes, Amelia Dyer was the big one that we covered. Now, there are so many stories, and I think it's probably we sort of purposely kept away from them because really, once you've done one, you've done them all, sort of thing. There are a lot of women who did this there's a lot of stories in London and also in Australia as well. Of women who took up baby farming as a means of income and things, and really, once you've done one, you've covered them all. And it's a pretty grim subject. We take listeners' thoughts on this. Really, do you want us to cover more baby farmers? Really, because it's pretty grim. I mean, Amelia Dyer was pretty much the queen of the lot. Well, we did another one, the one, the Ogress of Reading. I can't remember her name. But she was another one who was particularly vicious. Yeah, a few people have sent through things from Australia. There's a couple of European ones. There's a couple with witchcraft involved as well, which half of the story is really interesting. The other half is the worst kind of child abuse. And it's there's an Italian woman who's known as she's Marta. She's like the vampire of Barcelona or something like that, and which is a fascinating story and one I've often started writing and then going, nah, I can't do it. There are other podcasts that cover these things, which we've always said that if there are darker ones that we can't do, please go and listen to them on other podcasts. People have put a lot of work and effort into them. We try and keep it light. Indeed. We try and keep it light. If you want an offshoot of us doing really dark shit, then just let us know. Let us know, because I'll do anything for money. She will. Terrifying. I think Alexandra Daw made a really good point as well, that the murderers, the scariest ones are, she argued, not the ones who kill a family member for life insurance. It's the unknowns. It's the people who kill, who we don't know why exactly. Absolutely. The ones where you can see a logic behind it, sort of twisted, horrible logic. But there's logic there. You can almost go, I see why that person did that. But some of the ones which are just so random and so seemingly without any type of why? Apart from you just had fun. Why would you do this? What are you doing? One of the social media comments as well about the scariest is from the blue-haired nurse. I've thought long and hard about this one. I'm still deeply scarred by Lacosta and the giraffe. And we must discuss it. Must we? Must we really? I mean, it's just a sentence in history. And there ain't no denying it because it's been covered by the scholars of the time. Lacosta was killed by a specially trained giraffe who awed her to death. No. There is no discussion. I mean, there's kind of a discussion as in, I don't think that happened. I mean, it's logistics would be interesting. Logistics are a key factor here. In that one, sort of, yes. I don't think there's a way that it would happen. I mean, some sort of platform and crane would be in order. Oh, God. One would But think. Even so, like, what's
the giraffe? Was she dressed as a giraffe on this platform? And the giraffe.
This is dressed as a lady giraffe.
Yeah, and was the giraffe shown nothing but giraffe porn for ages, but prevented from tossing himself off? I at least am coming up with suggestions here, Nick.
I'm glad to see you giving it so much thought.
No, I don't think we need to discuss it any further.
No,
it's
we
just
probably don't.
weird. It's just upsetting.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it. Yeah, but murder. It's the scariest thing of all, really. When you kill people, it's like, oh, Jesus, why? Well, it is.
Yes, there is that. No arguing with that.
No arguing with that. My others were Rillington Place.
Oh, yes.
Rillington Place. That was a great episode.
Yes.
That was a good one.
Dear old number 10.
Yeah. Dr. Hyde as well, Starvation Heights.
Yeah.
That was just unsettling.
Yeah.
All the way through. It was a crime, but it was just...
Ugh.
What was going on with you to starve people to death?
Yeah.
On the basis of health.
Yes, because it's healthy.
Yeah, because it's healthy. It's chilling for the day. It's just a bit... No.
No.
Well, that's the upsetting shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
We did ask people as well their favourite cocktails.
Yes.
Over the last 200 episodes.
I mean, we've had a lot of cocktails.
Yeah, I don't remember a lot of them because they
No.
were amazing.
No, I remember very, very few of them, to be honest. And I was looking back through the Instagram posts that were put out, and it's how about so many of them are like, this is great, we loved it, we're going to make this again, and I've never made it
Never
since.
made it
I cannot
again.
remember what on earth what it was like.
Yeah.
But it's been quite good, actually, because I've got a bit of a list going, oh, we apparently really enjoyed that
All
one,
right.
so I must...
All right, tell us everything.
Well, no, we made one called the Silk Road during the Mother Mendelbaum, Frederica Mendelbaum episode.
Yes.
And apparently, we loved it.
Loved it.
We made more in the evening afterwards. I have no
Did we?
recollection, apparently.
What's in it?
So I wrote, there's a lot of gin and apricot.
Good combination. Good.
Yep, all those lovelinesses.
And we'll make that in a
apparently.
minute then.
So yeah, apparently we absolutely love that one. We're raving about it.
Delicious.
Completely forgotten about that one. Yeah. Another one we made up, the Art and Gordon's Grand Staircase. Another one that was made up in episode 189. I
Yeah.
completely forgot about that. Yeah,
Yay.
apples, pears, we loved it. I have no memory of any of these.
The Ferryman, actually, was one vote from, I think it was, Kate Mudamella. The Ferryman, I remember, I think we did this on a video as well. The Ferryman was good.
I remember that.
We had
I remember
coins
the name. Yes,
with it.
coins.
And she also said the best reaction from you all, that fucking sausage mustard trash.
Yeah.
I do enjoy Vera saying favourite cocktail, Moscow Mule. I know, I'm basic.
Yeah, you like what you like.
You like what you like, and Moscow Mule's no.
Absolutely. I like that as well. So don't often drink, but was introduced to the espresso martini through the podcast.
Delightful.
So
That's what you
fantastic.
want.
Yeah.
And
Find something.
if you've never had an espresso martini, it's like, yeah, great, man.
Crack
Yeah,
on. I'm
just
glad
do
you
it.
like. Indeed.
Do it.
Also, I mean, Sarah, we need to get together at some point because you've listed The Last Word, Bouvardier, Red Hook, and Casino Number 1. I mean, they're probably in my top 5 cocktails, all of those. So yeah, fantastic.
I think he's coming on to you. You two should be friends and build Lego together.
So
No, they're so
absolutely.
good. And also, I forgive you for The Last Word. The Last Word is quite good. I've had a Last Word.
Bloody marvelous.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Just let it go, Nick.
Better than whatever the fuck this was.
Well, I'm sorry that I didn't create an amazing cocktail from scratch using ingredients that everyone wanted on the podcast. Also, fuck you. And fuck yourself. That's
This feels extreme. This. I feel that
because
was a
I've been
strong
inflicted
reaction.
with green chartreuse how many times?
Oh.
I gave you one bad cocktail. Ish. And it wasn't even bad. It was okay. You're still drinking it, you fucker.
I feel it was a reaction there.
It was a reaction. A choice was made.
A choice was made. A very dramatic, loud, shouty choice.
Oh my God, Sinead was dramatic. I'll alert the media. Oh, Death and Taxes. Apparently.
Oh, that was quite a recent
Lauren
one
G.
we did.
Yeah, knocked her out. Yeah.
Yes.
And the White Negroni that we did a video on.
We did.
The only good use of Suze, I would say. Everything else I've hated.
I mean, again, I'm not overly wedded to a white Negroni.
No, I wouldn't really.
But yeah, no, grand. If you like it, fantastic.
Well, Retro Rosie, for her party, is making a corpse reviver.
Nice.
Good luck. And they're also curious about the death flip. So we did a video on the death flip
Now, that
way
was
back
way
when,
back.
which has got a whole egg in it.
Yeah.
You gotta down that. Do it. It's great. Protein. Great.
Yeah,
Lovely.
absolutely.
Yeah. Corpse Reviver. Don't have more than one.
I mean, it's a tasty cocktail, but my God, it's dangerous.
Yeah, it's a good... I don't know, what's it good for, Nick? Writing, maybe? Start writing.
I don't know what
with
it's meant to be good for. It's meant to be good for a hangover, which is the whole point of it. That's where it came from.
Oh, yeah, because Hemingway had it? Or was it...
Because it was meant to be like Corpse Reviver, so the next morning, you'll be more than two of these will swiftly unrevive the corpse again type thing. So,
it will,
yeah, you don't want to have too many because you will be on your arse.
While we're in the middle of the cocktail things, do you believe in the hair of the dog?
I don't. Probably yes. I mean, I think it's not something that I personally do.
No. Have you ever?
Not really.
Really? You never had... Well, you're not a fan of Bloody Mary, are you?
I'm not a fan of a Bloody Mary, no.
Yeah.
So I don't go out on a Sunday and have a Bloody Mary and things. So
I think...
And because I don't drink pints or anything. Well, no, because like you can go out... It's acceptable to potentially honour if you're hair of the dog and you want a pint.
Yeah.
But if you're hair of the dog and I want a Negroni at 11 in the morning, there's a slightly different conversation.
I don't think anyone's having a Negroni at 11 in the morning. What? You're right.
Well, this is the thing.
I get
because
it.
I don't drink other things.
But you could have a mimosa or something.
Well, potentially.
Yeah, or like a Bellini. That's why I swear by Bloody Marys, because someone told me that for the first time when I was... I'm sure I've said this before, but terrible hangover for a family do. It was a wake, and then in Ireland as well. So just woke up and was meeting everyone for lunch at 11:30. I was sitting there like, Jesus, and someone said, just have a Bloody Mary. I was like, I've never thought of that. And then I suddenly felt like, oh my God, I'm fine. I'm amazing. This was a fair few years ago. Now I would just be like, no, I still feel sick. But I don't know. I think it has its place. That pint next day,
fair
actually.
enough. Yeah.
I've never had a pint that was a hair of the
I don't
dog.
know.
I've never had that. I've never gotten up at 11 a.m. for a breakfast and said, yeah, and I'll have a few pints with it. Though I have walked past the Weatherspoons on the way to the Beano Gracie Calf and seen people in there just shaking hands with a glass of white wine at 10 a.m. Like, well done, sir. Lovely. The corpse's whiskers and the Corpse Reviver has a lot of love.
Yeah, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm liking this. I mean, Aunt Gordon's Grand Staircase getting a lot of love as well.
A lot of love.
On that one as well, which is fantastic. Anything with chartreuse in, yes.
Yeah, but
yes.
no.
Yes, Tiffany, you're fucking brilliant.
She also just said, haha, just kidding, I haven't tried chartreuse yet.
What?
You need to read the whole sentence, Nick.
No, rude. I hate you. No, rude.
Oh, lovely. Yeah, the cocktails are a weird thing. Like, we need you to tell us about it because we've said a lot of stuff over the years and then we don't remember any of it. But really, we have to conclude with what is the greatest poison of them all. After 4 seasons, we had strong thoughts in season 1. We've moved into murders and we've moved into bios. We've moved into all sorts of crimes.
Yeah.
Really, what is the greatest poison of them all, in your opinion, Nick?
Oh, I mean, if I was being sort of in the sort of Poisonous Cabinet sort of comedy mode, I would say fucking doctors. But in greed, realistically. People were just wanting other people's shit. So I think a lot of it comes down to that. Whether it's other people's partners or other people's money or other people's whatever it is. Just people want shit that other people have got.
Maybe the wanting of shit.
The wanting of shit
is the greatest poison of them all.
Yeah.
I'm going with guillotines.
Guillotines.
Yeah, they're sexy and they can't be trusted.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, it's so true though. It's boring even to the point of it is greed. I think the greatest poison of them all.
Yeah.
It's
a close. I mean, love is a sort of a. I don't know why I said that with such disdain.
Yeah. You literally did air quotes around the word
I
love.
know, I really did. My God.
Yeah, love.
Yeah.
Love. That's a poison in your fucking heart.
Yeah, I really did. Oh, God, okay, that's me.
Wow.
Jaded fucking me. But yeah, so
Sorry.
Right.
Okay, we'll take that away.
Yeah, exactly. That's
love.
that's an insight to my life.
Disgusting. I would say
people claim to do so many things for.
I don't know, I think maybe the greatest poison of them all. If I'm going to go, oh my god, I'm going to go really deep. But I want to say arrogance, but there's probably more a nuanced word than arrogance. Arrogance seems too easy. You're poisoned.
I'm intrigued where you're going with this.
I think the greatest poison is your own mind, really, is that your own self-belief, to the point of some people. I absolutely believe this is right. It is, I don't know whether it's the equivalent of whatever the little devil on your shoulder is. That's very Christian. But yeah, I think the greatest poison is a toxic self-belief, toxic self-confidence.
Like it? Okay.
Yeah, because it goes, no, I can get away with this.
I can do this. Yeah,
I will have no repercussions. And even though you've seen other people have repercussions, you think you'll be safe.
I like it. Yeah. No, that's that. Yeah. That's a very insightful thing. You
can join my therapy session next week if you want to. There
Thank
will
you.
be snacks and very bad advice, really.
I'm
Beyond
glad.
that,
Brilliant.
I will be using that. That's the linchpin of the session. After that, I'll be like, so just tell me everything's wrong with you. Oh my God, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Love in air quotes.
Use the doll, Nick. Now maybe give it a hug. No, I don't want to. What other people have suggested. Moving away from love.
So probably we both did a lot of therapy.
This is free therapy. Is it?
It's not fucking helping, apparently.
You're still doing love in air quotes.
Exactly.
But your perception on psychopaths is fine. You have not killed yet. The suggestions from our darling listeners have been capitalism.
Oh yeah,
Capitalism,
greed.
Yeah.
So,
I think it's up there.
Yeah, I would go with absolutely, definitely up there.
Absolutely. There's a place for capitalism. Well, there's no place for capitalism,
Well,
honestly.
no, I think there is.
Consumerism, yes. Consumerism, I think the principles of everything else.
I don't think we can all live in a communist, happy society. I don't think that entirely
I'd love it if we did. I think the reality is you work towards that, but still. Arsenic! But also money. From lovely Vera.
Yeah.
Yeah, money. It's the greatest up there.
Yeah.
Hate. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And Rachel's also said cancer, and big love to you, Rachel, as well, because we know you've gone through a journey recently. Indeed. And thank you for sharing with us. Rude customers as well. Yes. Yeah. Oh God.
As someone who lives the world of retail, absolutely. I'm there with you.
Doctors. Sarah's with you, love as well. You and Sarah, why do you need to run away together? Because she knows all the cocktails you like, and also fuck love. But also probably doctors. So you two start a retreat.
It's great. Yeah, exactly.
Lauren G, doctors or the police.
Or the police.
And a lot of methods of like, we don't know what we're doing.
But sometimes they come through. Sometimes they are
occasionally,
so good
yes.
that it's like, oh, that's genius.
So
well
good
done,
that it's arousing.
Yeah.
Kind of like so good that they're amazing. Yeah. We've also got, doctors is just high on the list. Doctors, apparently, like, again, I think another Sarah was saying, doctors, I have to agree with you, apart from me, I'm great. Schrodinger's cat, yes. Alcohol, obviously. Yeah. The patriarchy, I agree with that. I see you're surprisingly silent.
Yeah,
there,
no, I love the patriarchy. Bring it on. Bring it on, I say.
Yeah. And Lord Flashheart again, Paul Roos, like the police, greed, power, or love.
Yeah.
Or love.
Yeah, so it's all up there.
Doctors are arsenic. Doctors, I think, is topping out here.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah. Makeup is a good one from Alexander Dorr.
Say doctors, life insurance, greed, money.
Yeah, greed. The Belladonna Badass, the Golden Cadillac. And Thallium.
Very, very precise.
I like that. The Golden Cadillac, funny. And Thallium. People died.
The Thallium Cadillac. Let's go with that.
Christina, arsenic, or do you mean drink? If so, shit. I've given myself away. Cyanide, actually, from Chaos Claw. Cyanide, people debate about their favourite. They're really specific about their favourite poisons.
Favourite poison.
Yeah, cyanide, maybe thallium. Eloise said the greatest poison of them all is love. Love of money, love of power, love of someone else's spouse. It causes murder.
It does. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like you're going to bond with Tiffany a lot, who just went feelings.
Absolutely. Fucking feelings. God, who needs that nonsense?
No one needs that. And also, she loves a corpse reviver, a red hook, anything with green chartreuse, except that she hasn't had green chartreuse. But you need to meet up.
Well, exactly. And she'll fucking love it.
Yeah, exactly. You guys, besties. Apart from Sarah, who is the love of your life, apparently. Doctors and the police and greed and power. Yeah. I think greed's up there.
Greed's up there, absolutely.
But don't hold out for guillotines. Honestly,
guillotines, yeah. Tiny guillotines.
Tiny.
Were we working on guillotine porn at one point?
Yeah, they're sentient. And
right.
they you devised it in but a second, and
yes.
It became a thing.
and I've forgotten all about it. So.
Oh no, I've written that shit down.
Oh good,
right, I've written that down.
At least someone has. my excellent ideas that I come up with.
You have guillotine porn and dildomancy. Yeah. Not the greatest poison of all, the greatest gift of life.
There is a theme going on there, isn't there, really?
There's things happening. Well, we've had fun.
Have
Looking
we?
back.
Yes, we have.
That's the end of our questions and the feedback that everyone has shared with us on our retrospective of 200 episodes of The Poisonous Cabinet. We hope you've enjoyed this episode because we wanted to take a moment to look back at everything we've done, have a bit of a chat, but also include all of you, all of our fans. And it's been a delight to share your thoughts and insights. Honestly, we need them. We need them because otherwise we don't know what's happening most of the time.
Not at all.
The good thing is that you can always contact us, you can always talk to us, you can send us messages, more episode suggestions, and just what you're doing in life. We love to talk to our fans, and you guys, as we said at the beginning, are the reason that we're still here. Obviously, we couldn't do this without listeners.
Exactly. If you weren't here, it'd be really, really upsetting.
Yeah, it would just be weird. It would if we'd done this for 200 episodes with like 5 downloads. It's like what's going on at home, really? But it's just our way of saying how much we appreciate you, how much we appreciate all of our Patreons and every single listener around the world. It's nearly all of the continents. Just someone in Antarctica, please listen to us.
Yes, go for it.
Please send it to someone that
someone on a research trip. There'd be someone down there.
One of you knows someone
Penguin
down
Wrangler
there.
or something.
What the fuck are they doing? Oh, is it a penguin wrangler?
Yes. It is.
Send that. Okay, use that audio. Send it to them and go. Correct, Nick. Are they on Antarctica?
I don't know.
No. Which Arctic are they on?
The penguin one.
The penguin one. Lots of pins in them. But thank you so much for contributing. Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers who contributed to the cocktail making of this episode. There is a little video of us trying to make what happened in the glass here today. It was a huge amount of fun and a huge amount of fun to hear back from all of you. So we are going to take a little break now, if you didn't know already. We're going to be off for about 3-4 weeks before we come in hot and ready for season 5.
My God, season 5.
And we've got plans for season 5.
Well, there are some plans.
Your opening for season 5 is going to be a banger.
Well, yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah,
it should be interesting.
Please do send us suggestions of what you'd like to see in season 5. If you have any stories that you'd like us to cover, and do consider joining us on Patreon, where we do all sorts of other stuff. We've got more books that we're going to be covering, and we've got more interviews coming up. And in the break that we're taking between season 4 and season 5, we are going to have a lot of very fun guest stars over on Patreon who are writing episodes for us. So it's going to be jolly delicious. We hope you'll enjoy it.
The cocktail, the recipe for the Poisonous Cabinet cocktail, will be out at some point. We shall launch that. If Sinead, if she had remembered what she put in hers,
I do.
That will be out as well. So give my one a go. Sinead's one's terrifying, but try it if you like. Absolutely. Yes, and do enjoy. And let us know what you'll be drinking over the next, 3-4 weeks? Send us pictures. We still want to know what you're drinking on a Friday evening.
Thanks for listening, guys. We have been the people inside the Poisonous Cabinet. We will see you very soon for season 5. And remember, your loved ones are trying to kill you.
Bye.